So, after a very, very, very lengthy announcement about Mark Carney announcing his lead for the Liberal Party, I come across two things, two conclusions. Mark Carney is going to bring politics back to where it was back in the Chrétien days. Extreme boredom. And two, Justin Trudeau actually was an idiot. It's coming up on Niagara Due North. Good morning, Canada. How are you today? Earlier today, I just had to watch the Mark Carney announcement. And by God, that is 47 minutes I am never going to get back. I don't understand how he went onto the Jon Stewart show and announced that he's going to run, and then goes and makes another 50-minute long announcement that he's going to run. At least I watched it so you guys don't have to. Alright guys, before we get into the reaction, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Is Trudeau actually dumb? Or was he doing this all on purpose? Mark Carney seemed to think he was actually dumb. Okay, so just before we get into it, I need to warn you, it's extremely boring. And I couldn't even, the questions and answers weren't even worth reporting on because they're just such nothing burgers. Like this guy, there was no adversarial reporters there, no hardball questions, no nothing. Everyone was really nice. It was a big cuddle puddle. And everybody was all joyous. Let's jump on in.
When it comes to politics. But this is no time for politics as usual. No, it's not the time for lifelong politicians such as Pierre Poilievre. Politicians with bad ideas, naive and dangerous ideas.
So I watched 47 minutes of this. I edited it down to 6 minutes. And I felt bad. So I did have to leave some stuff in there, and I'm sorry. Guys, Mark Carney is one of the most boring politicians I've ever had to listen to in my life.
I know I'm not the usual suspect when it comes to politics. But this is no time for politics as usual. No, it's not the time for lifelong politicians such as Pierre Poilievre. Politicians with bad ideas, naive and dangerous ideas. And I think the worst, his worst, is that Canada is broken. Canada is broken was one of Pierre Poilievre's many three-word slogans, and it couldn't be more dangerous. Now,
he's saying Canada's not broken, while at the same time saying that the Liberals messed up.
in the UK, I saw firsthand what happened there after years of Conservatives shouting that their country was broken. Conservatives don't run around saying Canada's broken because they want to fix it. They want a license to demolish and destroy, including many of the things on which we all and regular people depend. Because populists don't understand how the economy and our society actually works.
Right. So he's dumb, and he's from the UK. So, first and foremost, we can talk about uniparty all we want over here. We know nothing of a uniparty like the UK. Okay? It does not matter who you vote for over there. And we've seen it. We have seen it. Boris Johnson was just a liberal. He was far left, man. Same with his replacement. I forget his name. And then they voted the Labour Party back in. Europeans are stupid, and all they do is vote for change. They don't pay attention to politics. They don't pay attention to anything that's important. They just get sick and tired of their leader and want a new one. They just get bored and want another one. It doesn't matter if you're doing good or not. You can be the Donald Trump of England. Make England $1 trillion in 1 year. They're going to vote you out because they're just bored.
Their three-word sound bites won't solve problems, but they will hurt regular people. And there are many differences between me and Pierre Poilievre. I'll give you a big one. Well, I'm focused on building our economy. He's out chasing endorsements from Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
Okay, so right away, if there is many differences between me and you on the other side of the camera, I don't think the first thing that I'm going to do or that I'm going to say is so abstract that it just literally has no meaning. Has literally no meaning. Okay, there's that many differences between him and Pierre. Don't forget, Pierre's an economist. I'm gonna get to that. There's many differences between me and Pierre, but I'm gonna say this is our mainest difference, rather than something that is actually worth it.
Pierre Poilievre's soundbites won't deliver for Canadians. We can't achieve our full potential.
Sorry. Back in the Harper government, Pierre was a minister of finance. He was a minister of housing. Everything was great. Pierre took care of the numbers. Pierre knows how to deal with numbers. Okay? God, he looks like he knows how to deal with numbers.
With the ideas of the far left. They too often see government as the solution to every problem, with a reflex to spend and subsidize that just treats the symptoms of the problems, but doesn't cure the disease. We can't redistribute what we don't have. And we can't support the vulnerable in our society or defend this great country if we have a weak economy. And I'm here to build the strongest economy for all Canadians.
Yay. Did you hear that one part about redistributing? So, this is when it clicked to me that I think Trudeau is really just that dumb. I honestly thought that it was calculated and he was destroying Canada on purpose. Was he actually just dumb? We all remember the time when he said, "Oh, you'll have to pardon me if I don't think about economics." Was he just really stupid? Is he just really stupid and just destroyed us like that because he just is a puff rich kid who just thinks that you can just throw money out everywhere? And it's funny to see his attempts at becoming a more centralized character. This guy's actually going to work. This guy, people are going to fall for this.
I know I'm not the only Liberal in Canada who believes that the Prime Minister and his team let their attention wander from the economy too often. I won't lose focus. Let me tell you one other thing. In these times, sending Pierre Poilievre to negotiate with Donald Trump is the worst possible idea. I can think of one other politician I might not send. It just came to me in the last 24 hours.
Who is it? I think it's Chrystia Freeland.
It just came to me in the last 24 hours. I want to say how grateful I am to the many, many Liberals, many Canadians, who aren't all Liberals yet, but, part of the process. The many, many Canadians who have reached out and are already helping and have offered help. And to my fellow Liberals, I commit we're all wearing the same sweater. I'll work hard to earn your trust and your partnership. And I'm coming into this match, coming into this game, knowing that we are well behind. But we're getting warmed up, and we're going to head out in that third period, and we're going to win. But that's not the...
So what do you think? What do you think? Deep State couldn't get Trump. Can it get Pierre? Come on, what do you think?
But that's not the point. The point is what we do when we win the general election. And that's to get out there and work for our fellow Canadians every day. It's to get out there and build a strong economy that works for everyone. It's coming together to stand up for Canada against Donald Trump. It's coming together to build an even better Canada.
So let's not forget that. He's going to stand up for Canada. He's going to stand up for Canada against Donald Trump.
We can build bridges between each other. We can build the strongest economy in the G7. Canada is a proud nation of builders. And now, in these extraordinary times, it's time to build together. Thank you for your support. Let's go do it.
What do you think of that? If I was stupid and uninformed, I think I'd vote for that. He sounds like somebody who's just going to bring politics back to the boring stuff it was before. And I think that's the plan. We need to sweep all this attention under the rug and get people back to where they were in the 90s so we can usher in the fourth revolution, right? Without anybody really knowing. So we can get all these conservatives off of YouTube. I had some questions he was going to answer lined up. But this guy is awful. Utter trash, man. Don't get me wrong. I am all for getting politics back to boring. Like, let's go back to that. Let's get all these... I always say, Trump came around and made politics really popular, and then a whole bunch of people who can't handle their feelings getting hurt, started having opinion about politics. And that really destroyed everything. We need to get those people back partying, back on their phones where they belong, where there's no politics, and they can go and live their life, and then we can have our politics back, and we can stop having stupid people voting because they want litter boxes in the bathroom. Right? Right? Guys, let's assess Mark, okay? Let's say, if this was back in the 90s, I think I might vote for him. If this was back in the 90s. He seems like a Jean Chrétien type. And he seems like he's someone that should have been there instead of Trudeau. So now I'm starting to think and realize that Alex Jones calls it the death cult. That the death cult needed someone in all these countries, and all they had was Justin Trudeau, and Mark Carney wasn't there. And Trudeau got them everything they wanted, except he's a dumbass. I never thought he was a dumbass. I always thought that everything he was doing was on purpose. And I think that if it was Mark Carney instead of Trudeau, I think we would have had a lot more Canadians on board with all of this crap. How many people in the St. Paul ridings just couldn't vote for Trudeau? Right? They're going to get a whole lot of those ridings back because of Mark Carney. And it actually looks like he's going to have plans laid out to let people know that he's actually doing something. Because that's what people want nowadays. I don't want no fluff. I want to hear your in-depth plan. And one last thing. He's going to debate Pierre. We're going to see that. And that is going to be hardcore. I actually do... Let's sweep all the globalist elites' death cults aside. If the world was normal, a normal place, this guy would actually not be that bad. He would actually not be that bad. Unfortunately, he still has the green agenda. He still wants to enslave everybody, put people on UBI, and make them play video games for ad revenue. Okay? Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you. Did you make it this far in? If you did, comment oogly boogly. Just so I know. Do it. Please. I'll give you money. I'll be back on the show tomorrow, guys, at 12 noon. I love you all. Bye.